Welcome back. Welcome back. Diamond K in the morning on the all new radioonfire.com. Here on the show, we deliver the biggest political and news stories of the day with interviews, original reporting from across the country. Diamond K in the morning is upbeat and fun, but I also want to expose what's really happening in America. Now, this is an entertainment topic that I really wanted to touch on. Are you ready for a black Superman? Nikki in the building. How you doing, Nikki?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm excited. Earlier this week, the Man of Steel soared back onto TV. Superman and Lois, the first Titan Flights live action Superman series since Lois and Clark back in the 90s. Do you remember Lois and Clark from the 90s?
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah. And so now Warner Brothers is charting the superheroes flight back to movie theaters. In the news, around the internet, faster than a speeding bullet. You know how it goes. So they've brought on some folks to get this screenplay for an all-new Superman feature, which is going to be produced by J.J. Abrams. And it may introduce the first big screen black Superman. How do you feel about that?
I don't like it.
Why is that?
I do not like that. Because Superman is not black.
Okay. Who said Superman can't be black?
Superman is white. I didn't say, and Superman is white.
Superman, as we know it, growing up over the years, has been white. This is true.
Yes.
Does that mean that he always has to be white?
Yes.
And why is that? And why is that?
I mean, for nostalgic purposes, Superman is white. Like
The president always had to be white?
No, that's different.
Nostalgic purposes?
No, that's different. Presidents are nostalgic.
Okay.
Come on. I mean, that's
if you grew up all your life, as you did, you grew up all your life with white presidents. Mm-hmm. And then when Barack Obama came, you wasn't like, oh, what is this?
That's different.
Yeah.
The president has had many faces. Okay. Many faces. Even though I understand that they were all white faces, and that's different. I just think that's different.
Okay.
And the president, that's something that's voted on. They're not playing a character.
Okay. Yeah. Let you tell it. They ain't playing a character. There is a new, powerful, and moving Superman story yet to be told. J.J. Abrams said in a statement, "We couldn't be more thrilled to be working with the brilliant Mr. Coates to help bring that story to the big screen. And we're beyond thankful to team with Warner Brothers for the opportunity." Talking about the opportunity to get this new Superman franchise off the ground. Before we keep going, new episodes of the program drop Monday through Friday at 8 a.m., but I don't want you to miss any of our live broadcasts. In addition to our 8 a.m. program, we drop content throughout the day as news happens. So hit that notification bell so you get an alert whenever we go live. So, I mean, you are looking at this from the standpoint of a nostalgic piece, but the story has to be told. And you can't keep telling the same story the same exact way over and over again. You got people that are just coming up now. And, I think that this is a good thing. You got to switch it up. Yeah, you got to switch it up sometimes. Queen Latifah's the Equalizer now.
No, I mean, I get
Equalizer was a white person at first. Then they switched it to Denzel. Now they switched it to a female.
No, I hope they tell the story well and change my mind. Okay, so what? Okay, I love Christopher Reeves as Superman.
As did I. He was really good.
Right, he was really good.
Really good.
So I remember the first time when Superman changed. Okay, like I mean,
which I did not like. It took me some time.
Gosh.
It took me some time.
My whole attitude towards, I was like, I'm not gonna like this. So
this is after Christopher Reeves.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I was like, there can never be another Superman. Who is doing this to me? My feelings were really hurt. So So, but however, I gave it a chance, just like I'll give this one a chance. And I totally changed my mind. I can't, of course I can still see Christopher Reeves as Superman, but I can see another white man.
Okay. Well, I mean, we've seen that.
Superman, because
who was the gentleman? The gentleman from the you like that. The Man of Steel, Batman versus Superman.
Yes, I like every Superman movie, comic. Like I love them all. So yeah, I'm diehard for Superman. In my head,
Okay.
That one time when I was a kid, that whole dreamy factor.
Got you.
So
got you.
I hope that the storyline is good enough to make me like this Superman, and they have to pick the right person to play Superman.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they better cast this right.
Okay, well, I mean, in addition to being Mr. Coates' first superhero screenplay, this is also the first time he's written a DC character. He previously made his comic book debut at Marvel, spearheading a highly successful relaunch of Black Panther in 2016, followed by a run on Captain America from 2018 to 2020. They have a very strong team behind this whole thing. So the film represents a homecoming of sorts for J.J. Abrams, who signed a mega deal with Warner Media 2 years ago. So back in 2002, the studio nearly gave the green light to his screenplay of Superman Flyby, which was a reboot, but that did not happen. And so, there's so many stories that can be told. And when you have folks involved that know how to tell stories, that know how to, because that's what all this is about. All this is about is telling a good story
and casting the right
people.
It's not
casting the right people and telling a good story.
Yeah.
So what the screenplay is, like you said, and who is cast is super important.
But I'll give it a chance though.
Yeah.
I'm not counting out. But yeah, I just hope they, do it justice, please.
Yeah. So there's some leading candidates that are out there, and it may not be a black Superman. It may be that they continue with a white character. I want to see a good story. I wouldn't mind seeing it, but I mean, it doesn't have to be that for me. It doesn't have to be that way. So you're willing to give it a chance.
Absolutely. I mean, anything with us in it as the lead, I'm willing to give a chance. Yeah, but yes.
Yeah. I mean, Black Panther was a big hit. People were talking about it couldn't have a black superhero, and then we had it. Mega hit.
Absolutely. I mean, but Black Panther is, I mean, he wears a mask. So you know what I mean? So he could be anyone.
Mm-hmm.
So when you see Black Panther, you're picturing an outfit. You know what I mean? More so than an actual face of who is playing or who Black Panther really is.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's easier for that storyline to go numerous places because the character wears an actual mask,
So. Snow White, could Snow White be black?
I'm not a diehard yes. Okay, so let me I'm not diehard for Snow White, so she could be anything. She could be I like that story, so I'd watch it. I'd watch that too. But I can picture in my head Snow White to be anyone because I'm really not into Snow White like that.
Okay.
Superman is a whole different story.
All right. Well, let me say this. So, of course, some of the biggest entertainment news today is the announcement of this Superman reboot, right?
Okay.
And word on the street is that Warner Brothers wants Michael B. Jordan to play Superman.
What?
Yep.
No.
Michael B. Jordan.
No.
Right. Does he have? Okay.
No,
yeah. He doesn't have He doesn't have the curl from Christopher Reeves. Yes. But what about all the other things?
No.
You're not feeling that?
No. How many times can I say no?
What?
No.
Why do you say no to that?
Michael B. Jordan is not Superman. Oh my god.
Well, he hasn't signed on the dotted line yet.
Well,
no.
He doesn't. And if that's an indication of how they're gonna
that would be a big check. That'd be a big check.
I'm not talking about the check, the story.
He's not the story. You don't think he could pull off? You don't think he could pull off Superman?
No, Michael B. Jordan is not Superman. I mean, I don't know who is, but it's not him.
Okay,
it's not him. Oh my
gosh. Yeah.
Don't hurt my.
I like the concept. I like the idea.
You think Michael B. Jordan would be a good Superman?
Yeah, why not?
Oh my gosh, I think you said it about anybody. Oh yeah, why not?
I don't say it about everybody. I don't say that about everybody. I'm saying that about him. He could be the star, a person of color, the last son of Krypton, right? So I'm gonna write the story real quick. So let's say that they go back to Krypton and it was somebody that survived some kind of way, and it was him. And this is, further into the future, and the old Superman has, the Superman that we all knew, he died, and some villain killed him, and then this guy, and then Michael B. Jordan comes as Superman and falls to Earth, and they start telling his story, because as you know, Superman is not the only. Here's the beauty of it: Superman is not the only Superman. They had a whole planet full of those fellows.
It could be a whole nother story. Maybe he had a love child on Kryptonite.
Okay, that's kind of whack. That's kind of whack. But
no, it's not.
So you're trying to say he's Christopher Reeve's son?
No, I'm not talking about Superman. I'm talking about Superman's father.
Yeah. Okay, his brother. Okay, what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that?
Oh my gosh,
it don't have to be that. But I'm just
his cousin. He
ain't got to be related to him at all. He could just be from the planet.
But he wouldn't be called. How is he Superman then?
Because he has the same powers, just like a Superman 2. When the Zod knew before Zod, right? When he came, but they were Superman. He was like, we were Superman too, because they had the same powers that he had.
No,
they did. They were from the same planet,
but they weren't called Superman.
No, but Zod was like, we're like, they look how they worship us. Like it wasn't. He didn't put a cape when he wasn't trying to help people. They were the dark side.
Remember came to Earth in the triangle thing?
Yeah, that was so slick. I know. We need to watch that again. See how well that holds up over time. Definitely. We can go on and on. I like to know your thoughts. Are you ready for a Black Superman? Diamond K in the morning on the all new radioonfire.com. Now, Diamond K in the morning is now available on the WRF Radio app. Simply download WRF Radio in your app store and leave me a comment. You can scroll your timeline, attend Zoom meetings on mute, shop online, whatever, while you're listening to Diamond K in the morning. Nikki, thank you as always. We can go on and on talking about this.
Yes.
Black Superman. That was a good song by Above the Law called Black Superman. Google that. All right, Google that. Get breaking news and adult conversation covering topics that are important to Black culture. Visit radioonfire.com for original radio, podcast, TV, and more. If you want to support Diamond K in the morning, you can do that via Cash App, $DJ Diamond K, also PayPal.com/ DJ Diamond K. I'm sorry, DJ Diamond K at gmail.com for PayPal. I'm going crazy. RadioFire.com. We will see you guys next time. Welcome back. It's Diamond K in the morning on the all new RadioOnFire.com. Here on the show, we deliver the biggest political and news stories of the day with interviews and original reporting from across the country. Diamond K is upbeat. Diamond K in the morning, fun, but I also want to expose what is really happening in America. New episodes of the program drop Monday through Friday, 8 a.m., but I don't want you to miss any of our live broadcasts. So in addition to the 8 a.m. program, we drop content throughout the day as news happens. Hit that notification bell so you get an alert when we go live. So Baltimore City Mayor Brandon Scott, Governor Larry Hogan, I think that there's always been some tension there. And the two have clashed over comments that Baltimore City gets more COVID-19 vaccines than they are entitled to. Nikki in the building. How you doing, Nikki?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good.
So have you heard about this back and forth that Mayor Scott and Governor Hogan have had?
Actually, I have not. So can you unpack it a little bit for me?
Yeah, definitely. So Baltimore's mayor, Brandon Scott, friend of the show.
Yep.
And Larry Hogan, governor of Maryland, have had this little war of words, so to speak. And I have to side with Brandon Scott on this one.
Okay.
Governor Hogan, who I have always said is not a friend to Baltimore City. I think that our two previous mayors, Governor Hogan has tried to throw under the bus on different occasions, right? So he did that to these women. Now he has a guy, and Brandon Scott knows that Governor Hogan has has thrown our two previous mayors under the bus on different occasions. So he's already ready. So he's like, what this Bama going to say, right? He's already ready for him, right?
That's good.
And I'm glad. And Governor Hogan, in true fashion, true form, most Republicans talks out of both sides of his neck, right? Okay. 1 minute he seems like he's our friend, then the next minute he does something shady. That's what Republicans usually do.
True that.
So this controversy started earlier this week when Mayor Scott asked the governor to reserve some doses at the two state-run mass vaccination sites in Baltimore. He wanted to reserve them for city residents. I don't think that's I don't think that's controversial, right?
Not at all.
If we were in PG County, the PG rep would be like, hold on a second, Playboy. Can we get these vaccines reserved for the PG Bammers that live here? That wouldn't have been far-fetched.
No.
Right?
Right.
It wouldn't have been far-fetched. Half of the doses that are given at those sites should go to folks who live in that jurisdiction, is what Mayor Scott said at the time. Nothing wrong with that. We were talking in other states, they're talking about people that were coming into their states just to get vaccinated and different things like that. So for him to say this should be for folks that live in this jurisdiction, I don't see what the problem with that is, right? So Thursday, they opened a new vaccination site in M&T Bank Stadium, the Ravens Stadium, which is where is it?
City.
Where specifically? Downtown Baltimore, right?
Yes.
Downtown Baltimore. And I don't have any issue with that, right?
All right.
And so that was what the question was. So Mike Helgren of WJZ asked the governor this.
Mayor Scott had said that he would like a certain percentage of vaccines at this site reserved for city residents. Is that feasible?
Okay, I think that is feasible, right? I think that is something that can happen. But let's keep in mind, we can't really trust Boss Hogg. All right, we can't trust Boss Hogg that much.
He does look like.
Right? He does look like Boss Hogg. That's why I keep him out of that white car with the convertible white car, because they be
oh my God.
All right, and Cletus right.
Pretty good imitation.
And then we gonna have some girl with the Daisy Dukes on. All right, so here was the response from the governor.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that the Equity Task Force will be talking about. I know that the general is having discussions. We're talking about that with our partners at UMS. As of last week, Baltimore City had gotten far more than they really were entitled to. We've got now 2 mass vac sites here. The city health department is only doing 14% of the shots here in the city. We're doing, with other partners, 86% of the effort. We have the vaccines here. We just got to get more people in these communities. The vaccine, which is why we're going out into the community this weekend. The general, lieutenant governor will be out at churches in Baltimore City, and we're all focused on this equity issue. But Baltimore City, we've been doing everything we possibly can to help them. Our partners are trying to help them, and we'll continue to do so.
All right. Yeah. See, I really don't like. So it's a fine line. You just feel like at any moment he's going to say something crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was like a help them. Like
help
it
them.
was like a them and a
who's them?
Them and a us. Like
who's them?
Right. I don't like that. I don't like the tone of that at all.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I don't like it either. And I'm very glad that Mayor Scott is calling Boss Hogg out on his words. He ain't gonna be around that much longer. Term's almost up, right?
Yeah, but what made that reporter ask that question anyway?
He's saying because that's something that Brandon Scott said earlier in the week. Okay. So he was trying to spark some stuff up, and he did that. That was he did that. And that's what he's supposed to do. He's supposed to ask questions. And Governor Hogan is a skilled politician, and he could have ducked and dodged that if he so chose to. When he wants to be, I guess I just felt like at one moment it's like them. Baltimore City is just a code for black people, and I don't. We're going to churches. We're going to churches. We're going to sub shops and liquor stores. I mean, you might as well said all that, right? But he continued. Here's what he said today.
The mayor made several comments for like a solid week about Baltimore City wasn't getting enough vaccines, and that was just false. He apparently doesn't have the information. Baltimore City did get far more than their allocation would be based on population. They got more than all the states, all the counties that are much bigger. So I think Baltimore City is the 5th largest population, and they got the #1 amount of vaccines. So it was just false factually.
All right. So that's his response. I don't think that the relationship is going to get any better.
No, doesn't seem like it.
Yeah. But in addition to getting backlash from the mayor, the governor's entitled quote unquote comment drew backlash from a number of current and former city leaders. I just did entitled to. I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that. The state did reserve some doses for Prince George's County residents at the mass vaccination sites at Six Flags. And slightly more than 7% of our Marylanders have been vaccinated as of today. So here's the thing. You open up a vaccination site in Baltimore City to vaccinate the people in Baltimore City. True?
Right, right. And it's a huge place. So I don't even understand. I don't understand. I'm so lost because I don't understand why you would use that huge facility in Baltimore City.
If it's not for Baltimore
City.
Yeah. Yeah. So that is just I don't like the way that he handled that, talking about Governor Hogan. And it just doesn't make sense. The folks that live in Baltimore City are not going to go to PG County to get their vaccines if that's what they want to get vaccines. And I don't even want a vaccine right now. But I'm just saying the folks that do want the vaccine, because I know plenty of people that do want the vaccine. But those residents are not going to go, nor should they go to Baltimore County or PG County to get it.
So let me get this straight. So they opened up. So M&T Bank Stadium is there for vaccinations. People can go get vaccinations there that are in
1A, 1B, or 1C category. Yes,
right. But don't live in Baltimore City. They can live anywhere.
Yeah, well, that is something that
that's what
they're making this up as they go along. Okay. So they're making this up as they go along. Baltimore City Councilman Dorsey called Governor Hogan a lying, racist scumbag.
Wow.
Okay. That's easy. Okay. That was Ryan Dorsey, Baltimore City Councilman. And of course, we talked about Mayor Brandon Scott taking exception to Governor Hogan's claim on the vaccine supply. Hogan's approach is just wrong. It's just wrong. I mean, when I think about Hogan, what makes me super angry is the way he handled the red line. Do you remember the red line?
Yes.
Right? They were doing all of this construction, trying to bring folks back to live in Baltimore City to work downtown in different parts, and they wanted this transportation system that was going to go straight on Evanston Avenue and some other places. And he canceled that coming in. I never forgave him for that.
Okay.
Okay. And he reallocated funds for, he's a PG County guy. He's wherever he's from, it's not Baltimore City. And he looks to steal money from Baltimore City. He looks down on Baltimore City. And this is just another example of that. It's another example of that.
Sure not hiding it. Wow.
Huh?
He's sure not hiding it.
No. He used to hide it under his hair, and now his hair is gone, so he has nowhere to hide his contempt for Baltimore City. Wow. Yeah, it's clear that he has it. Definitely. Talking about the soon-to-be-gone Governor Larry Hogan and all of these folks in Baltimore, all these Democrats, black people in Baltimore rushed out. Larry Hogan's our friend. Larry, we love Larry Hogan. Yeah, Larry Hogan doesn't love you, right? Larry Hogan can't come to the barbecue.
Not at all.
All right, he'd send his lieutenant governor, and I don't, he is black, but his barbecue admission card is under review. So I'll let you know about the lieutenant governor. Diamond K in the morning on the all new radioonfire.com. We are also available in the WRF radio app. Simply download WRF radio in your app store. Leave me a comment. You can scroll your timeline, attend a Zoom meeting on mute, or do some online shopping and listen to Diamond K in the morning. Thanks as always, Nikki. Do you shout out your social media?
Sometimes Nikki S. At Nikki S617 on Instagram.
Okay. Be clear. I am at the Diamond K Show at Radio on Fire. And we'll be back on Monday. Or as news breaks, you may see us pop up in your feed. You can always support Diamond K in the morning via Cash App, $ DJ Diamond K, or PayPal, djdiamondk@gmail.com, and visit radioonfire.com. Today, an advisory panel recommended that the Food and Drug Administration, aka the FDA, grant an emergency use authorization for Johnson & Johnson's COVID vaccine. Now, this is developed obviously by Johnson & Johnson, and this would be the third vaccine authorized by the United States and the first to only require one shot. Welcome back. Diamond K in the morning on the all-new radioonfire.com. Here on the show, we deliver the biggest political and news stories of the day, interviews, original reporting from across the country. Diamond K in the morning is upbeat. It's fun, but I also want to expose what is really happening in the United States. In a statement issued shortly after the vote, the FDA said that it has told the company's regulators will rapidly work toward finalizing and issuing the emergency use authorization. The agency also said that it has notified federal partners involved in vaccine distribution so they can execute their plans for timely vaccine distribution. Here's something that the Biden administration and others are excited about, and that is more vaccines coming to market to attempt to combat this COVID-19 pandemic. Authorization of Johnson & Johnson's vaccine could be a potential game changer, at least in some areas, right? So this is made by J&J's vaccine division. It's a single dose vaccine, does not need to be frozen when it is shipped and distributed. That is important. So the level that the vaccine has to be stored at, as far as temperature, is something that's pretty standard. The vaccine is what's known as fridge stable, meaning that it can be shipped and stored at a temperature of a regular refrigerator, like a household refrigerator. So both of those characteristics will make this vaccine easier to deploy if the FDA authorizes its use, which it is expected to do in a matter of days. So 2 vaccines already in use in the United States, one from Moderna, one from Pfizer BioNTech's partnership. Both are 2-dose vaccines. And the cold chain requirements are something that really makes it tricky for those. Although the FDA does not have to follow the recommendation, of course, just because the panel said so, that doesn't mean that they're going to do it, but it is widely expected that they will. Also note this, the Johnson & Johnson vaccine has not been tested in children and teens under the age of 18. So it will not be authorized for emergency use for them. That is important to know. The vaccine J&J was found to reduce cases of moderate to severe COVID infection by 66.1%, starting 28 days after the single shot. It takes a while for protection of the vaccine to build up. Results released late last month suggest that the vaccine worked better in some areas than in others. In the U.S., the vaccine is 72% protective. The United States has purchased 100 million doses of this Johnson & Johnson vaccine, but supplies are expected to be scarce at least until April. So that's where we stand with this Johnson & Johnson single shot. I think that this is going to be popular for if it goes through. Popular from the standpoint that most people don't want to take, 2 shots. Most people don't want to take those 2 shots. So this Johnson & Johnson only requiring this single dose is something that works in its favor. Now, as far as efficacy, the efficacy is lower than the Moderna and Pfizer vaccines. But as I said, you don't have to take 2 shots. So it's give and take. Give and take. Of course, Diamond K in the morning. New episodes drop Monday through Friday at 8 a.m., but I don't want you to miss any of our live broadcasts. In addition to our 8 a.m. program, we drop content throughout the day as news happens. So hit that notification bell so you get an alert when we go live. It's Diamond K in the morning on the all-new radioandfire.com. Diamond K in the morning is available on the WRF radio app. Simply download WRF radio in your app store and leave me a comment. Now you can scroll your timeline, attend Zoom meetings on mute, or do some shopping online and listen to Diamond K in the morning. Get breaking news, adult conversations covering topics that are important to Black America. Visit radioandfire.com for our original podcast and TV programs. And of course, if you want to support Diamond K in the morning, you can do that via Cash App, $ DJ Diamond K, or in PayPal, djdiamondk@gmail.com, or simply visit radioonfire.com. Hell yeah. He is such an idiot.
You know what kills me, man, with like people like him, they keep electing these cocksuckers.
Yeah.
That don't give a fuck about you. He's on his way to Cancun.
Yeah. It's like the worst crisis that he don't care about them people.
And that's the whole thing. That's what I don't get with him, McConnell, and the other cocksuckers, man.
Yeah. They could give a
I'm out of here.
They don't care about you. I'm going to Cancun.
Hey, Diamond. Hey, listen, bro. I know we are off subject right now, but
that's all good. Wait for you to get on here.
What else do y'all need? You know,
what else do they need to see? Yeah.
Right, a Confederate flag was flown in the Capitol.
Mm-hmm.
I'll wait.
Mm-hmm.
And you still find this cocksucker not guilty?
Yeah.
Listen, you Texans, you hillbillies some of you hillbillies that support this cocksucker, it's unbelievable, man. You know, he's on his way to Cancun. Fuck y'all, I'm out of here.
Cancun.
You know. Anyway, back to what we here for, man. I'm just on one right now because with these Republicans, man, it's like, what is it gonna take for y'all to wake up? Oh, y'all losing y'all homes and your homes getting y'all dying, y'all freezing to death. Your electricity bills are through the roof. Really? Where's the state of Texas at for you now? When y'all all vote Republican.
Yeah.
Okay. And where's Ted Cruz at now? Remember, let's back up, Diamond. Let's back up. January the 6th, he was the first one to stand up with his chest poked out. When Arizona contradicted the voting thing, and we needed a senator to stand up. He was the first one to stand up with his chest poked out.
Like he was real proud of himself.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You going to Cancun?
Yeah.
Really? Your state is in a world of shit. You know what? I'm gonna leave that one alone, Dom, okay?
Yeah, I mean, he tried to come up with some half-brain excuse that they took all night to think about that don't even make sense.
Well, what's to think about?
Yeah, he tried to say he was accompanying his daughters to the vacation spot they was going to, and then he was coming back home.
Bullshit. Bullshit, man. You know what I mean? Come on now.
It just doesn't make sense.
This motherfucker ain't got no power. I'm up out of here.
Right, that's what he said.
I just don't get it, man. Look, man, let's do this interview, bro. You ready?
Yeah. I don't know where Unique at. I guess he get on here when he get on here.
Yeah. Let's do it, man.
So we're talking about this Salt and Pepper Spinderella controversy. Where do you sit with that?
Listen, man, as a fan from day one, and it's like I told you, man, we are so used to seeing all three of them.
Right.
You know, and we talking from 86, you know, when they started up until, you know, when they were no longer pretty much relevant.
Right.
Even now, you're still used to seeing all three of them.
Yeah.
You know, and it's a shame that it has to end like this, man, because, you know, for whatever reason, or who did what, or who contributed what, or whatever, man, it was y'all three that we grown to know. You know?
Yeah.
You know, and like I say, with the movie, debatable on what you want to take away from it. I thought that it was with the movie, man. I mean, I like the movie, but it was also showed. Now, this is true. The business dealings of it. What you think?
I mean, I don't think that they ever handled their business right. So we got DJ Unique on the line.
Okay.
Yeah, so we talking about this Salt and Pepper movie and the way, like, what were your thoughts on it? Did you like it?
It was all right. I watched the TLC last night. I ain't seen nothing in a minute.
Yeah, that's old school.
They all got jerked, man.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah, I mean, it was a bad deal. I mean, even for Pepper, it was a bad deal according to the movie.
Yeah. I mean, but that's usually how it works out. I mean, even if you switch gears and talk about football, you know, Lamar's not making what he should be making. Dak wasn't making what he's supposed to be making. He about to. But I'm just saying, you know, those first deals when they don't know how you're gonna pan out, they usually be kind of shady. Whether you talking about sports, whether you talking about music, your first movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In Friday, what they made $5,000 or 6 or 8, something like that, something crazy like that. And I think in House Party they made like 20 or 30. You know what I'm saying? And but then the sequel, then you make the money. So it's just like it be like that sometimes.
Right. Right. You know, I mean, like I say, man, I like the movie, and from an older person's our age perspective, is like a lot of this stuff that we knew. We did. I think most people were surprised of the business part of it.
Yeah.
You know, like a lot of the stuff that we knew, as far as who was messing with who, a lot of that stuff we knew. Some of this stuff I was it was like 10 question marks, like with the Tretch thing. You know, that was debatable because it was kind of like, hold up, we heard one thing back in the day, and y'all saying this now.
That's my issue with that's my issue with these kind of movies where they just rely their sole information on the people, whoever the subject is, and don't get a full picture. You talk to anybody else, that even us as fans knew that their relationship was very volatile and physical. When they broke up, that's why she said they broke up.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden in the movie you want to say he had an anger problem. Really? It's like, okay, you know, but
Lifetime is gonna make the black man look bad.
Yeah.
Exactly, unique. And I gotta agree with that. I'm about to say that because Lifetime is going to go with the drama, you know, and you know, it's kind of like, really, you know, that was a bunch of question marks right there, man.
So we got these ladies who we all of us on this call grew up listening to, right?
Right.
And now we have the girls feuding. Salt and Peppa over here, Spinderella saying they did me dirty, and all of that. Have y'all ever watched any interviews with the original Spinderella?
Yeah, I watched
on
the white boy that got the unique access.
Sorn, whatever, unique access.
Yeah. I saw that interview also. You know what I mean? And it's like
that was my first time ever seeing.
I had never, So we saw on the cover of, I think it's Hot Cool Vicious.
Right.
She's on the cover there, but we never ever heard her talk. We never, you know what I mean? We never really saw her, and but we knew she existed. We didn't really know why she wasn't in the group. We thought that the Spinderella that everybody knows, we thought she looked better, and you know, better than the original Spinderella. We liked her, whatever. But I think if you go back to that time period, so we talking about 86, we used to talk about, and it was known. I think it was a known thing that she couldn't mix that good. Like she wasn't really in 86. She wasn't no big time DJ. She wasn't good like, you know, Jazzy Jeff or Kid Capri, or she wasn't like that. But so they worked her into the group. Like she clap your hands. She's jumping in with some of the lyrics. She doing some of that stuff. But along the way,
her husband is a well-known DJ in New York. That's how she got a little nice.
Well, Unique brought it to my attention. So, because somewhere along the way, she learned how to mix. Okay, I didn't even know.
Right.
Okay, somewhere along the way, he told Spinderella.
Right. Right. But if you listen to the movie, she only had like a year's experience before joining the group.
Yeah, and I think that was probably accurate. That's probably accurate.
Right. You know, and of course, we all know that everything was controlled by Herbie.
Right.
You know,
which it should have been, because he knew how to make beats. He knew how to structure songs. You take Herbie Lovebug out the equation, then these girls are like Sparky D or whatever girl that had one song back in the 80s that didn't have a second song.
Mm-hmm.
Herbie was the vision behind that made that engine run. But my question is, us knowing Spinderella's place, and she had an important part of the group, do y'all feel a certain kind of way now that the girls are separate and they saying, you know, they kind of downplaying Spinderella's contributions? What do y'all think about that?
I think they that it's to me it's two sides. If the money being split up 3 ways, and you the DJ, Stacey probably would have been getting like probably like 500 per show. But if y'all doing like 13, 14 cities in America, then y'all going overseas touring. Man, I'm gonna take that bag and I'm gone. Like, we're not making records anymore. You can't go to the store buy music like that no more. So it's like the old school artists are getting paid off the shows.
Right.
So why not go? I mean, and I think Salt N Pepa owe her an apology because she helped build that group. She's on What a Man. She's on all the top 40 songs. She's on there, rapping or singing. Right. So I mean, like, they owe her a cut and they owe her, like, come on, man, like, you're under contract. Like, no, that's just like Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince. Even now, they don't perform together that much no more. But when they do, Will Smith always interact with Jay or with Jazzy. That's just like with Run DMC. It never been Jay as by himself or running by himself. It always been Run DMC and Jammers. They always included Jay in everything. And that's how I think that's what their Salt N Pepa failure was. Their egos got in the way, man.
What you think about that, Greg?
My whole thing on that is let's fast forward 30 years later. Okay. They not making what they made back in the late 80s, early 90s, mid 90s.
Right.
They're not relevant.
They're not selling out arenas. Okay. They're not selling out arenas like they was back then. Right.
And the thing is, the paydays are smaller now. And it's like we talked about earlier, like, even if you can go back to the EPMD thing, okay, with DJ Scratch, you know, they're not making not even close to what they was making back in the days.
Same with Houdini. That's why Grandmaster D left. To cut you off, but that's why Grandmaster D left, and they went and got Mel Starr, because Grandmaster D like some more money DJing doing parties than being with the group. And so, you know, Grandmaster D dipped, like, I'm gonna go get this money from the parties. They use Mel Starr.
Well, I mean, like you say, man, it's sad because we're so grown up, used to listening to these people, whether it be like Salt N Pepa, all three of them, Run DMC, EPMD. You know, we used to seeing these three people. That's what we want to see, not nobody else.
Right.
And like you say, it's sad, you know, that sometimes it has end up this way. But groups don't last forever, and the fame don't last forever.
Right. Right.
You know, and like I say, what
that's the problem.
Mm-hmm. You know, and like I say with Salt N Pepa, you know, I personally think for whatever she made a contribution, she was a part of the group. She was a major part of the group.
Definitely.
Period. Definitely. You know, it's like you can't have Salt without Pepper and Spinderella. You can't have one without the other two. Period.
I mean, they said said it on the songs, Salt, Pepper, Spinderella. It just goes together. You know what I mean? It's just that's just the crew. That's just the crew. And so my thing is I think Unique said it. It's ego. This is ego and it's money. And the girls, you know, when it was a bigger check, then they gave her a bigger piece. But now that the check is smaller, they kind of being greedy about
it. And that's what it is.
Yeah, they being greedy about it. And to me, it's foul. And like I think they getting ready to get some type of I don't know whether it's they gotta get some type of an award, maybe an achievement award, maybe the Grammys or something like that. But
Lifetime Achievement Award?
Yeah, something like that. And Spinderella's not gonna be involved. But it's just I think it's really foul. And so if she takes her hard shot, she's been doing interviews and talking about it and all that. I think it takes
I know I've been watching it, man.
Yeah, she been and for the most part, people are looking like they doing her dirty. I mean, for extra,
Well, I mean,
whatever
listen.
it is, they doing it dirty.
I mean, listen, man. I mean, listen. If you look at the group as a whole, even from the beginning, they were like puppets, man.
Yeah.
Herbie was controlling everything, writing the lyrics, the music, the production, everything, man. The manager, he was everything. Exactly. So it's like, okay, how can you say, well, she didn't do this or she didn't do this? What did y'all do until later when y'all woke up?
You talk about like the what a man time period or
yeah. Oh, that's fine.
Yeah,
but that was the
like
that
6,
was
7
almost
years
the
later.
end though. That was the high point, but
that
it was also the
end.
end. Yeah.
That was, and it was over after that. It was.
Yeah, I mean, to me, they was cool at that time period, but I liked them better when Herbie was around. And it's just like, if Herbie was still around, this wouldn't be happening.
Right. Well, somebody got in somebody's head, and you know how it goes, man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, you know how it goes. You know, Herbie had division.
Yeah.
Yeah, his business tactics might not have been the best, but it's business, man.
I mean, you're right. And I remember, and I'm going back to this time period, maybe about 90, 94, 95. They started, the label started trying to tease a Salt solo project. And it was going to be Salt by herself, and she was going to have features. You remember like how when Grand Poobah went solo, kind of like an album like that, where it's kind of feature heavy, but it's Grand Poobah or it's Salt.
Right.
I didn't think it was going to work, and some of the songs that they did, it was like it's cool, but you wait for Spinderella to come on. I mean, you wait for Peppa to come on. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? I don't think. Do you think a Salt solo project or a Peppa solo project could have worked?
No. Hey, Diamond, listen, man. The only thing that worked with her from Salt and Peppa was Stomp with Kirk Franklin.
Right.
That is the only thing that worked, and basically you could have put anybody rapping on that track. That was
around that time. Yeah, right. And that's exactly around the time period when they was trying to do it. She did work on that song, but did that make you want to have a whole Salt?
No. Diamond, I could have got on that track, and I can't even rap, and it was the track. It wasn't her.
Did you play Stomp in the club at some parties?
Yeah, I played the
Unique.
I played the acapella. I would mix them like funk box and set up or something.
Oh yeah. That worked. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so but we got a lot of groups that this is the most recent group to go through this, but a lot of other rap groups have gone through this. Whether you talk about EPMD, I wasn't even aware of the Houdini stuff. But other groups have gone through this. But I think this is just what it is. But it's just Salt and Peppa was such a big group that Spinderella was more than the DJ.
Right,
like
she was part of the group.
Even when I went to the Hippodrome, to the old school hip hop show, Houdini had Mel Star with him then.
So how did he do?
That nigga monster.
Right, but see the thing is that in the role that he was filling, he wasn't part of the vocals really. I mean, he might have jumped in on some of the choruses, but you take Spinderella out of the equation, it seemed like something missing. What about EPMD? Right. Did y'all feel like something was missing with their DJ being gone?
Yeah, it took away from the show. I mean, like I said it a million times. I love EPMD, one of the best groups around, but live they suck. But when they had DJ Scratch, that's what you look forward to. Yeah, but this guy was fucking nasty, man. He was nice, and like I say, man, it's business. Like I say, man, that was 30 years ago, and you talking about now the paychecks are smaller, and they trying to. This is how EPMD or these groups survive is this show money. Okay, oh well, we really don't need you, Spinderella or DJ Scratch or whoever, you know what I mean? Because we can pay Joe Blow just to hit, start and stop on the next song,
right,
and pay him really nothing because he's so happy to be with us.
right, and that,
you know what I mean?
Exactly, right.
I mean, and that's what it is, man. It's like, why? Okay, let's say, for example, let's just say you make, let's just say $6,000 for a show all together, Salt and Pepper or
Right.
EPMD.
And I think that's a fair
Let's
number.
just say, yeah, let's just say $6,000, if even that these days. Okay, that's $3,000 for you, $3,000 for me. But damn, I got to break off $500 for the DJ, and my partner got to break off $500.
Right.
We're only making $2,500. We can go pay Joe Blow $100 or $300 all together. He just so happy to be on stage with us.
And that's what it is. That's what's happening. Exactly that.
Right. You know.
But then when the DJ can go out and get $1,500 their own self with their name DJ in the party themselves.
Well, see, that's the thing with, and I'm going to use Scratch for a good example is he was smart enough even years ago to get into production and to do other things where he even said this where he didn't have to rely on EPMD. He said Jay taught him that.
Yeah.
He said groups don't
Jam
last
Master Jay?
forever. Yeah. He said groups don't last forever.
That's true.
You know what I mean? And so he was smart enough.
Especially him, because he was in a group that broke up.
Right.
You know what I mean? EPMD had broken up.
And Jay the one that put him in that group.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. I forgot about that.
Right. Because
on tour with that machine. They didn't have a DJ.
Yeah. Right. But see, like I say, groups don't last forever. And that's what it is, man. I mean,
let's talk about EPMD a little bit more. So Scratch wasn't the first DJ. Caleb Balls was the first DJ.
Yeah.
And
did y'all hear Prince Marky D just passed?
Wait, what?
No.
Prince Marky D passed away.
Is this breaking
the
news?
Fat Boys?
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know that.
Tap Money just posted it on his page.
Damn. Wow.
Right. So it's not. It must have just happened because it's not.
God
I don't
damn.
see it nowhere yet. Yeah, that's sad.
Yeah.
That's sad news.
Yeah.
He was just on the guy's interview like a week ago.
He was on somebody. Yeah, he was on something recently.
Right. Damn. Damn. Sorry to hear that, man. If that's true, you know.
Yep. It's all on Instagram, man.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
That is sad. Yeah. 23 minutes ago. Yeah, his manager just posted that as well.
Oh. Wow, that's heavy.
Yeah.
But everybody posting it.
That is. Yeah. Now it's going crazy now.
It's like I'm so glad I got to see all these groups perform. First Ecstasy, now it's like everybody from these groups gone.
Tomorrow,
the only group I never got a chance to see was NWA.
Tomorrow is his birthday.
Oh my goodness, man.
Yeah, tomorrow's Prince Marky D birthday. Crazy.
Wow. Damn.
Yeah, so that I guess with light of that, let's switch to the Fat Boys real quick.
First Jim Jones, now this
Jimmy Jones. Yeah. Don't get people confused. Yeah. Fat Boys. Are the Fat Boys one of the all-time great groups, hip-hop groups?
Yeah.
Diamond. Hold up. Hey, Diamond, you already know what I'm going to say about this one. You ready?
Yeah.
I thought that they were, and we had this conversation a million times. I thought they were definitely underrated, mismanaged. You know, they made a lot of money, but I thought that their whole persona was mismanaged into a gimmick.
Yeah.
And these guys actually had skills. And they did.
They definitely did. They definitely did. They were able. One thing about the Fat Boys that I did like, and I think was one of the reasons why they were so successful. Same thing like with Houdini. They were able to incorporate R&B vibes in their music, and that caused them to be able to branch out and cross over more than some other groups.
Right. Now, I got a note for y'all. I know we on the Fat Boys. Prince Marky D used to mess with Pepper.
Right.
Yep.
Right.
Crazy, ain't it, man? That we talking about one thing and it leads to another. And you know what? And even watching the movie, it's been so long that I had even forgot about that, because that was the gossip back in the 80s, the late 80s, that, you know, that was the first dude that, you know, she was messing with. And it was Marky D, you know?
That's crazy.
Puerto Rican cat had mad skills.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
He was nice.
He definitely was.
Yeah.
He probably. I mean, I really like the combination of him and Kool Rock Ski. I like them going back and forth, and we talking about that time period where you would have rappers trading lines back and forth like that. I like the way that their voices complemented each other.
Yeah, he said that they all got their style from the Cold Crush.
Oh yeah, it's clear.
Right,
That's clear and obvious.
I mean, like, you know, like with the combining back and forth and the complimenting each other, man. And they were from that era where you had to be a true MC.
Definitely.
I mean, even though that their biggest thing was the human beatbox, these guys could rhyme, and like either one of them could handle their own.
Absolutely.
And what people got to understand with the Fat Boys, man, we talked when they came out in '84, there wasn't no sampling in their music. This is all live instrument, live music and drum machine.
It's all Curtis Blow and Larry Smith.
Right.
You know what I mean? This wasn't no sampling. This was straight hip hop and R&B.
The sampling to me came with EPMD and De La Soul. That's when like the sampling really started getting up.
So you talking
really
about
started with Eric B. and Rakim, really.
So we talking about mid. Yeah, and they really, well, I mean, you know, Marky D did some music by himself.
Yeah.
And I thought he had a cool vibe for what he did.
Right.
Yeah. He was like the president of Motown or something back then.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, you know, it's just, wow, that's a heavy one right there. That's one of my favorite groups, but damn, you know, that's a heavy one.
There's a big loss. You know, so definitely R.I.P. Prince Marky D, born 1968.
Right, because he was doing a radio show down in like Miami, right?
Right.
Miami, yeah, radio.
Right.
Yeah, he was on the radio show.
Right.
Yeah, he had on the radio down in Miami. Yeah, yeah. Damn, man. You say he born in '68?
Yep.
Damn.
All these guys dying young, man. Jeez.
Yeah, that's
damn, man. That's heavy, man. You know, but wow, that's heavy. You know, but back to what we were talking about. Not to get off the subject, cause you know this is definitely one that hit you hard. But you know, like like with groups, man, and you know, we're looking at things from the '80s and stuff like that, man. But like you say, whether it's rap group, R&B group, or whatever, man, groups don't last forever.
That's why I'm glad to see. I mean, cut you off, but that's why I'm glad to see Oskino and Beans and the whole state property put aside. And he interviewed Dame the other day. I'm glad to see them able to put their differences aside. Like, you know, Free and Oskino just lost both of their sons like in the same month. So for all in as far as that beef after 20 years, I mean, life's too short, man. Like, and then these guys are legends. Like, you know, when the world open back up, our age gonna want to go out and see all this. You know what I mean? They gonna want to see all these shows and stuff when things open back up. So, you know, even at that show at the Hippodrome, Jalil performed by himself when I went. He had Dr. Ice with him because, you know, they cousins. But that was, you know, I think Jalil was sick back then.
Yeah.
The ecstasy was sick back then. So
the Disco 3.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that I got a chance to see all these guys live as a child. You know, like this generation missing out. They missed out. But like the top 5 back then, were the Fat Boys as far as headliner shows. Fat Boys, Run DMC, Curtis Blow, LL, Beastie Boys, and Public Enemy. They were the top 5 as far as like headliner shows. You had to book them on everything.
All right.
Because there wasn't a lot of hip hop out back then. So.
All right. I mean, it's just it's one of those things, and you know, Unique always likes talking about seeing some of the legends now. Of course, you know, they passed their primes, and I a lot of times like to remember them how they was. You know what I mean? It's just I look at it like this is not our generation, but you know, like what was like the people from the Rat Pack. You know what I mean? Like those type of people. You know, I'm sure that the people that grew up in that time period with them, but then later on and seeing them later, it might have been the same feeling for some people. But to me, it's a little bit different. But yeah, it's so yeah, and some people like Big Daddy Kane, he still looks amazing. You know what I mean? He still looks amazing.
Yeah.
He's doing his thing and he's very active. Some of the other let's talk about Kane. Like
Kane got a party bus now.
Kane doesn't have Mr. C on the road with him. Public Enemy doesn't have Terminator X on with them.
Terminator X.
Who's the DJ they have?
DJ Lloyd. That's Chuck D's nephew.
Okay.
And the guy that DJ with Big Daddy Kane, that's the Kane little brother.
Okay. I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah.
What, the one that was Lil Daddy Shane?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so it's just a different time, and you know the DJ is not such an integral part of the group anymore, the way it is now.
True that. You know, that factor has been out the window really since the early 90s, man.
Yeah, I didn't think it was going to really happen. It's so strange. It happened like right before our eyes. Like it was so crazy.
Well, you know, you're right, but I think it was the record companies that were saying, "Hey, we want you, and we're going to pay you. And you know, if you want to pay him, that's on you, coming out your money."
All right.
And really, I think that's why the DJ got pushed aside. You know what I mean? Like I say, they were more just focused on.
Are y'all watching the documentary on Fuse on FX? I mean,
of what?
About what?
About hip hop in the beginning. How like, you know, the drug dealers and everything played a part in giving the guys the deals. Benny and Watt the Flock, the Mother on there, Supreme, Jay Prince. It's just talking about how the dope game started hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
How
deals. That is definitely a known fact with the
Haitian Jack, all of them on there. They come on FX. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
okay. Yeah.
Nah.
Good. I mean, like I say, man, you know.
How Russell got the money to start Def Jam from Benny. So, the Supreme.
All of it.
So that means you're
like
gonna see Irv
man,
Gotti on there talking about how much he loves Supreme.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It is like, man, like you say, groups don't last forever. Companies don't last forever. And that's what it's all about, you know?
Yeah, you gotta be ready to take that next step.
Exactly. And that's what it's all about, man. Like you say, like if you're making this money now, what do you guys set up? Or what are you setting up to set up yourself?
Right.
You know, and like I say, man, like whether it's a company or a group or whatever, man, shit, nothing lasts. Like I don't give a fuck if you're the biggest star, man. Like even with Michael Jackson, you're not going to be the biggest star,
Yeah, he wasn't
forever.
at that same level forever. You know what I mean? He came down.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't the hottest one in the game at a certain point.
Well, and Donna, we were talking earlier, and let's talk about this. It wasn't till they decided to break away from Motown to where he was able to have creative control.
Right.
And then you saw with his songwriting and what he wanted to do in the direction he wanted to go and the production that he chose, look what happened.
From what Quincy said, Billie Jean was supposed to be for Elder Budge.
Yeah, well, Elder Budge was nobody at that time,
I mean, that would have blew him up.
Yeah.
That would have blew him up. But at the same time, could he have followed it up with something else?
Well,
and he can't dance. He couldn't do the moonwalk. So
I mean, really, man, with El DeBarge at that time, the only thing he had was just the look. Michael Jackson had it.
Michael Jackson had the look and the it factor,
the
like
dancing,
you said, and the dance move.
Yeah, the dancing. I mean, he already had the track record,
And drugs,
Oh, it destroyed the whole family.
Right, like I say, man. Even with that song, I don't think El DeBarge could have carried because he won. The video wouldn't have sold because he wouldn't. He wasn't a dancer.
No.
Yeah, you a pretty boy. They would have had camera shots of your face, probably other people in the background dancing. It just wouldn't have been the same without Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Quincy tell it all on that thing he did for Netflix.
Yo, Quincy went too far. I don't know whether Quincy is whether he got, like Alzheimer's or something, because he was going to some of the stuff he was saying was too far.
On that one.
What you mean?
On Michael on that one. You got
yeah. He was saying all kind of stuff. He was saying that like just some of the stuff he was saying. It was he was saying that Michael was he was accusing Michael Jackson of a lot of stuff. Let me say that.
Okay.
A lot of stuff where you like, what?
Yeah, but you kept working with him though.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that's what I mean. You talk about even Off the Wall, Thriller, or whatever. You kept working with him. So what was the problem?
Right.
Okay, everything was
for people. He was saying, and he already knew that person had that song written to that beat.
Right, or Michael stole a song. Yeah, Michael stole songs from people and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, listen, man. Where were the lawsuits at then? Okay, and then two, Quincy ain't stupid. He was going to roll with the money maker, especially at that time.
Right.
When Thriller sold 40 million copies, I didn't hear him saying none of that back then.
Right.
When his pockets got laced. I'm gonna watch that documentary, but it's kind of like, dude, you're a hypocrite. This guy really cemented your career.
You watch when you watch it, Dre. He a big hypocrite on that joint.
Yeah, this guy cemented your career. He really made you.
I think Quincy went for the check.
Well, as you say, it is what it is. It is what it is,
Quincy went for the Netflix check.
And that's what it's all about, man. It's about money, man. He know that Michael ain't here no more. He's trying to look out for him,
Right, same with Oprah. Oprah had Jacksons on that show. I don't know how many times when Mike was alive. Then he died. You want to bash the man?
Yeah, I don't appreciate how she did that.
Yeah. Well, that's what she does, you know. But is anybody surprised? You know, but you know, it is what it is, man. Yeah, DK. Like I say, man. Okay, Diamond. Back to the Salt and Pepper thing. What did you think about the deal that they initially got?
I mean, I thought it was standard for the time.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was standard for the time. You know, they are unproven, you know, commodity. Female rappers specifically were not selling to that point. At that time, I mean, you had Roxanne, but aside from Roxanne, female artists weren't
up until that point. Nothing. Yeah.
Salt and Pepper were the first ones to really take it to that next plateau, so to speak.
Shantae was, yo.
Yeah, I mean, but I don't think Shantae didn't have a number one record.
Man,
exactly, you know.
Man, I don't know.
Yeah, but that was an underground pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, for the hip hop community, it was number one for hip hop. But I'm talking about
but
Salt and Pepper took it to people that didn't even listen to hip hop.
I mean, when Push It came out, they went in another direction after Push It, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
they went straight pop after they seen the success of Push
It.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's like, so how do you think Salt was portrayed in the movie?
In a phony way.
Salt, arrogant Salt. I watched all them videos. Yo, after the movie, I went on YouTube, watched the Video Soul interview with Donnie Simpson. I watched the Rap City stuff. Like, I didn't know she was like that, man. I really didn't. I'm like, dang, I'm a fan of them. And I already knew Pepper was crazy, but to see Salt, Salt was more like the laid back one. But,
so we thought, yeah.
Yeah, but you know, like I keep telling people, man, when you're doing a movie on you're gonna make yourself look good.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's what she did.
And that's what
Hollywood,
makes it phony, though.
Right. And Hollywood is going to go after the drama. Oh, she was the saint. This one right here was the rebel, and this one right here was just a non-factor, Spinderella. You know what I mean? It's bullshit, man. You know what I mean?
Put her in the movie. Oh, and she on What a Man. She on Let's Talk About Sex. Like, you know, like I'm not gonna include that girl in the movie.
Because Unique, the thing about it, they consulted with Salt and Pepper, not nobody else. This was their thing. This was their point of view. They were the ones that getting the check. This is what they wanted. Put it out there. Oh, Salt, I'm the victim. I'm holy. I'm righteous. You know what I mean? It was Herbie that wanted to do all this.
Yeah,
and then, you know, with Pepper, they portrayed Pepper as the buck wild one. You know what I mean? You got to have some drama.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta have the drama. Like I say, and then you got Spinderella saying, "Well, hold up." You know,
right?
It is what it is. You know.
Mm-hmm.
Herbie mistreated me so bad. He was fucking around, bitch. You portray yourself as a dumb motherfucker that stuck around for that bullshit. So it's kind of like the Michelle A movie. It's kind of like, come on now, who you think you fooling?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I know
said
we're
gonna
like
pay
that
you.
Michelle A shit.
Well, you know, I mean, hey, listen, man. You know, it's like the movie was basically about discrediting Dre.
Well, I mean that's going back. That's going back to what Unique said.
Right,
like
and
they want to paint the black man like that. Yeah.
Right, and then like you trying to make yourself seem like you was a victim. Oh, I just tripped and I slipped on Suge's dick. You know what I mean? Duh. What you think, a motherfucker stupid? I mean, come on, Diamond, Unique, come on, man.
Yeah, well, she like, oh, well, he was looking out for me. I don't even know how this happened.
Yeah, you know how it happened. Yeah. Listen, I ain't getting to that, but that's bullshit.
She had a K-Life, open your legs.
and that's what it was. You know, like come on, man. Like with the Michelle A movie, it's like, come on, man. It's like, this is bullshit. You know what I mean? It's like, he gonna come home, Easy gonna call you up. Hey, you get the fuck up out of there. Dre on his way home. He drunk as a motherfucker. He gonna fuck you up. Huh? Dre's not gonna do nothing. Dre come in, whip your ass, and go to sleep. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
you know, that's the station that like to portray relationships like that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, Diamond, I mean to get off subject. I was watching something on YouTube yesterday, an interview with a DOC. Can't remember who this cornball was interviewing him. Now, DOC finally admitted it, that after he had the accident, when he came out of a coma, which wasn't too much longer later, he had his voice.
Really?
He said that after that, I think he fell back out. They put a trach down his throat.
Oh, right. I
That's
knew that.
what messed up. That's what messed up his the vocal. And he said that he didn't find this out until 10, 15 years after what happened.
You mean that the tracheotomy thing, that's what messed up the voice?
That's what they said. It was not the accident. They said his uncle went to go see him, and other people went to go see him. He was talking, but then they had to put a trach down his voice, down his throat, and that's what destroyed his voice.
Oh, wow.
And he said that he did not know that until 10, 15 years afterward.
Wow. That's crazy.
Wow, So, but then, let's back up. Okay, well, kind of malpractice lawsuit you had against this hospital?
Yeah, that sounds like one.
Because then again, how this guy lived for so long without having to work? Because he never really got paid for
He wrote some stuff, I'm sure.
Yeah, he wrote, but a lot of stuff he didn't get paid for. The Chronic he didn't get paid for. The Ruthless shit he didn't get paid for. Now the Dr. Dre Chronic 2001, that might be a different story, but makes you go wonder, You
mean, how was he fun? Well, he got a baby with Erykah Badu.
But how is it going to benefit him?
No, I guess you're right, don't.
Yeah, how's it going to benefit him? When she got a baby by, Andre 3000.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Because matter of fact, don't she got like 3 kids?
Yeah.
She got a kid by somebody else.
Yeah, she did.
Mm-hmm. So man, they ain't gonna do no justice. Like, where's the income, But it's just weird. I'm watching. I'm like, huh?
Yeah,
you still had the voice?
J Electronica. That's the other kid.
Yeah,
so,
right,
yeah.
right. Exactly.
She got a baby by him.
Mm-hmm. She got a 9-year-old by him. Yeah, it's crazy. Ain't that crazy?
God.
Unique, like, what? Yeah, she got a baby by him. Yeah.
He said, what? Yeah.
I'm trying to figure that one out.
Oh, well, shit, no, like a lot. Was the kid like 11 now? Not 9.
That's
11.
weird. That's weird on its own because
that's super weird.
She's Sunni Muslim, and he in the Nation of Islam.
Right.
I'm
yeah,
trying
he's
to figure out
nation.
Shit.
Yeah, they ain't together though. They ain't together no more.
Yeah, like I said, I don't mean shit. I can crack some legs open.
No, most people in the Nation of Islam won't even touch Sunni Muslims. So
Maybe they didn't see Erykah Badu's butt.
Exactly. Like I say, motherfucker dick. Like I say, motherfucker dick get hard. And Erykah Badu show her true colors.
She do got a nice body.
Yeah,
she got a big butt.
Yeah.
Man.
So that
you know who else got a tight little body? I subscribe to her own plan. What's the name? The little dark skin shorty from the Bernie Mac show.
I don't know who that is.
The oldest one from the Bernie Mac show, the chocolate.
Yeah, that girl kind of young though, man.
35.
I know you talking about.
She's 35.
No.
35? Wow.
Yeah, she's 35 now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, man, I subscribe to this phony OnlyFans page and she don't take off nothing. I'm like, could have looked at her Instagram.
You said she don't take off nothing.
No, don't take off nothing, man.
Wow.
I done kicked out about $75 and she ain't take off nothing.
Well,
that's the whole point. She got you.
I could definitely send you something that do if you confused. But
she used you, G. You know what I mean?
I'm waiting for Lisa Ray to start posting.
She ain't going to neither.
She ain't gonna do nothing. That bitch old now, man.
Come on now, Lisa
man,
Ray ain't
gonna.
She ain't gonna do that though, yo. Nah.
Listen. Lisa Ray ain't gonna do that, man.
Nah.
You know,
she ain't taking off nothing. Yeah, but she ain't taking off nothing. Not no Lisa Ray.
She ain't gonna take off a goddamn thing.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. Yeah.
I'm sitting there, I paid $25 to watch the same stuff she's posting on Instagram.
Yeah, you should have saved your motherfucking money, man.
Right, that was a waste. I'm like, I ain't supposed to subscribe to her no more. I'm like,
Yeah. But Diamond, man, my newest slang, or my newest saying is, they ain't coming to see you, Otis. You remember that one, man?
That's like one of my favorite parts of the movie.
Yeah, they ain't coming to see you, Otis. That's my shit, man. Yeah. Or the other one that I be saying all the time, man, from Django. Who that nigga on that nag? That's my shit, man. They ain't coming to see you, Otis. Yeah. Yeah.
They wasn't. And they wasn't coming to see Otis.
No, they wasn't, man. He said they ain't coming to see you, Otis. That shit was the funny.
Well, that's true.
Otis the one that held the group together.
That's true.
Yeah, I mean he did, you know, but
that's true.
I mean, you know, he was right about that.
Don't come to practice, getting high, missing shows. He like, man, y'all niggas out here. He find somebody else to sing.
But I mean, you know, it's probably what they was going through with Bobby Brown. Yeah, it's probably like the same kind of thing.
Right, you know, it's like, dude, you know, it's like
Bobby tired of that bubblegum shit.
Yeah, because he did go.
We heart throbs.
He did go. He did went the other direction. But I tell you what, though, when he put that King of the Stage album out and that shit flopped, I bet you he was second guessing himself then.
But Bobby was smart enough to come back.
Yeah.
He learned from the mistakes.
Oh, he definitely did.
And look what happened when he came back. I mean, yeah, King of the Stage did flop, but when he came back as a monster, man.
Oh, definitely. He came back real hard.
You know, and then because whether it was the production, the songwriting, or whatever, he came back with a point to prove, and he proved it, man, you know?
I think you're right, but I think it was all those things. I think it was production. I think that was Teddy Riley and Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis. And
exactly.
You know, they was running that at that time.
That time they were. And he came back with a vengeance, man. I mean, he hit him hard. That whole album, man, Don't Be Cruel, that was a monster, man. That was a monster, man.
Bobby was kicking ass.
Yeah, he
was. Said it. That's why put Johnny Gill in the green, they was like, Bobby, if you watch the movie, they was like, Bobby out here kicking out ass.
And he was. And he was.
Nah.
And he was.
Right, because they really thought Ralph was going to leave. That's why they brought Johnny in. You know.
But I mean, Ralph,
like
it just didn't work. For some reason, he was probably the most popular member of the group, but him solo didn't work. I don't know why.
That's sensitivity.
I mean,
What'd you say?
Yeah.
That sensitivity was rocking though.
No, it was. It was, but
it was.
Look how Bobby's solo album was. Look how BBD's solo album was. It wasn't the same. Like,
no, it wasn't the same.
He had Sensitivity and he had Do What I Gotta Do, and those was the only two singles off there. And
Ego.
I mean,
yeah.
Once again, the ego. He thought he was the man.
But see, yeah, y'all right. But y'all guys also got to remember at that time, man, they were getting older. The bubblegum stuff was starting to fade. And okay, Bobby was the first to King of Stage didn't do well, but he came back hard with Don't Be Cruel. And he killed him because he came with a more mature sound. It was with the times. Not to say New Edition didn't, but it was like Bobby did everything right. He had the right production, the right songwriting, and he killed them, man. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna say that because even when Johnny Gill did his solo album after New Edition, that was a big hit.
Yeah,
you know, that was a big hit. I ain't even gonna lie. I mean, like I say, Ralph, he had a big hit with Sensitivity, but he had nothing else off the album. And then when BBD came, that
Johnny Gill album, was that the one that Rub You the Right Way was on? And
yeah, my.
Yeah.
All that stuff was on the same album, 1990.
Okay, yeah, well that was good. Yeah, that was a good album.
You know, right, and that was a good album. Like I say, he had good songwriting, good production, man.
But look at this.
He had it all.
Even his solo run was bigger than Ralph Tresvant.
That's because the industry, the industry was trying to make, because Lisa was fading out, and they was trying to make Johnny Gill the next piece.
Yeah.
No, I mean,
you mean for the mature crowd? You mean the older crowd?
For the older crowd.
Hey, listen, man. For me, with New Edition, for the longest time, Bobby was the front person. They wanted him to be the front person, whether it was because of looks or whatever. But he wasn't the most talented. He wasn't. He wasn't the best singer.
Who we talking about?
Really? Huh?
Who we talking about?
We talking about New Edition.
Who wasn't the best singer? Who wasn't the best singer?
Ralph wasn't the best singer. Really, I mean, if you think about it, Bobby could have carried those songs.
No, well, see, Bobby
better.
But see,
to me, Ricky was the best singer.
What?
No.
Oh, slow down.
No, not even close.
Ricky Bell. I mean, I don't think they could sing that good.
When they got to do their own thing with Velvet DeVoe, Ricky was killing.
Because he the only one he only one of them three that can sing.
Right, and it wasn't him; it was the production.
Yeah, it definitely was that production. Because the second album,
it was the production. You know.
Yeah.
You know, because he wasn't. I mean, the thing with the early New Edition, they went with Bobby because it was the bubblegum shit. He was a little cute one, and Bobby actually could sing better than Ralph.
But
because of the way Bobby looked.
Yeah, Bobby was too hip hop, and so, and the thing that Ralph had is Ralph could hit the high notes. None of the rest of them could hit the high notes. But Johnny Gill could sing better than all of them.
Right.
Yeah.
But see, I also thought that on a lot of those earlier songs, they never gave Bobby the chance except Mr. Telephone Man.
They didn't.
Because they didn't like his attitude. Display, and I think it was an image thing.
It definitely was. It definitely was an image thing.
It was an image thing, you know. It's like okay, we're gonna go with this shag wearing bucktooth motherfucker. You know what I mean?
But
And that's
felt
what
like
we're
he was
gonna
more
go with.
marketable.
That's what I mean. And listen, it's smart business, and it was because when the girls look at the video, what they gonna see? When the girls look at the album cover, who they gonna see?
But the girls dictated what was going to happen because
And
Ralph was
it was
getting a
smart
response.
business.
He was getting a response, and that's why they went with him.
Right. And it was smart business, Dominic, okay?
Yeah, we would have all
It
did
was.
the same thing.
Right. I mean, it was smart business. And like you say, you could see what they were doing. And, okay, we don't look at it like now, but it was business. You know? And, you know, like I say, okay, you know, and as you can clearly see from the movie, they business was bad from the start to the end.
Talk about some bad
New Edition.
contracts.
Yeah, New Edition. That was just horrible from beginning to the end. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, really, if you think about it, up until really the whole time on MCA was bad. Whether it was Belle Biv DeVoe or Ralph, they weren't making no money.
I agree.
What you think, DK?
Yeah, they definitely was getting robbed.
Yeah, you know, they was getting fucked. That's what they was getting. That was happening, you know.
It was like, better get better, Jack, because you ain't bad.
Yeah, man. You know, it's weird. Like it's just like, even when we look at New Edition from now to back then, we're used to seeing all five of them. It's like with the when you think of the Jackson Five, we thinking of the Jackson Five. You're thinking of the brand,
right?
Like, dude, this is what we grew up seeing. You know, this is what we grew up seeing. This is what y'all presented. I mean, like, even with, like, we was talking about In Vogue earlier. You know, we used to seeing all four of them, not
In
three,
Vogue,
not
In Vogue, TLC, all of them tried, didn't work. I don't know what.
Yeah, you know.
Better.
Yeah.
She was the worst. From Pebbles to
Right,
Sugar.
you know.
Yeah.
You know, and like I say, man, when you present somebody with something and you take away from it, it's like, okay, how you gonna have the Supremes without Mary Wilson or without Diana Ross? It just ain't gonna work.
You can't. One of them got to be involved, or it don't work.
It's kind of like, it's kind of like, you know, we not, as the audience, we ain't feeling that shit. It's like with Salt, like back to Salt and Pepper. We used to seeing Spinderella with her fine ass with Salt and Pepper. That's what we used to. She was maybe not the front person, but you damn sure saw her because she was fine.
Absolutely.
Period. You know what I mean? You damn sure saw her because you like, yeah, this bitch is fine. You know what I mean?
She was the best looking one.
And that's and that's what we are used to. Like I say, back with the In Vogue thing. It's like, come on, man. You know, EV3, that shit never worked.
No.
You just seeing y'all four bitches. You know what I mean? This is what we want to see. You know, like it's like with the Supremes. If it ain't Diana Ross and Mary Williams or was it Florence, whatever her other name was, we don't want to see that shit.
All right.
You know, come on, it's like the OJs. Okay, you might can separate that third person because he wasn't really a factor, but them two lead singers, you can't separate them. It's like the Isley brothers. There is no replacing Ron Isley. Period.
Nah.
Even with the
period.
Even with the Whispers, you can
no
add somebody else, but the twins, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Unique.
Right.
Exactly. Without them twins, because when you see the Whispers, right, what's the first thing you see? Them two fucking short twins.
Yeah.
Identical twins. And to me, I never could distinguish them motherfuckers' voices. They both sound alike.
Even from now. Even now, they still, I can't like, like, what the hell?
Right, but a unique. I don't give a fuck whether it's 70s, 80s, 90s, or whatever. You cannot, one, you can't tell them apart. Two, you can't tell who's singing. Either one could sing the lead of any of them songs. And I know they switch back. And I know they switch back and forth. They had the same vocal range.
Yeah.
You know,
that's one of them. That's
like
one
I
of my
say,
favorite R&B groups.
It mine is the OJs. I ain't gonna lie, mine is the OJs. And the thing with the Whispers, that's my brother's favorite group.
Oh yeah.
I remember.
You know, you can't.
Goes on.
Yeah.
He was in Disney World. I was like 13 years old. This song came on the radio in the hotel. I was like, yo, hell.
What song was that?
And the beat goes on. I was like,
man, it's classic. Yeah.
Yo, I'm 13 years old. I'm in the hotel when we was in Disney World. I'm like, yo, this song banging.
Right. Because man, when they say, hey Scotty, what's that mean? Man, that's my shit right there. Keep on. This is my shit.
R&B was
and Diamond.
That's funny.
Yeah, and Diamond, you got to admit, you could not tell them twins apart, man. Let alone the way they looked or the way they sounded.
Yeah, that's classic.
Hey, Scotty. Hey. You be like, that was the shit, man.
They don't make it like that.
They had the same. They had the same fucked up mustache. They had the same afro. Everything, you know.
The trap music, the trap R&B sound like trap music now. Ain't nothing different no more.
Yeah,
everything sound the same no more. Same now.
Yeah. Like I tell you, bro.
Even now they trying to distinguish the R&B and call it neo soul. Like what kind of shit?
There ain't no motherfucking neo soul. Get the fuck out of here. We ain't had no neo soul. What you think the last 15, 20 years?
Well, I mean, if Jill Scott or India Ari put something
that was
out,
it.
That's official.
Maybe Music Soul Child.
Yeah.
That was it. This shit we got now is kind of like, you know what I mean? Yeah.
It's definitely
ain't
like it used to be.
I mean, in the beginning when the music started changing, when music and Jaheim first came out, we just knew Jaheim was gonna be the savior. Like Jaheim about to kick ass, about to be the hip.
Nah. Unique. You know what killed him, man? What hurt him? The way he looked.
What? What you mean?
Yeah. Okay, Diamond. That's what I mean. Okay. If Jaheim would have came out in the 70s or 80s, he'd have been a big star. But I think when he came out at the time he did, the guy with the vocal range of singing was unbelievable. What hurt him is image now.
He was the first one, but look who copied that image though, Jagged Edge.
No. If he was a pretty boy, it would have been a different story. I think what hurt him is because of the way he looked. Because
you think he looked too hip hop.
I just thought that how can I say this? With him, I just thought that that's what they didn't want. He wasn't a pretty boy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a good comparison. Genuine. He was just pretty boy, but he really wasn't a good singer.
Right.
He was average. Jaheim was a damn good singer, but he wasn't what they wanted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he wasn't promoted big enough.
Right.
I think it was both. I think it was a lot of things. He wasn't promoted.
They definitely didn't promote him as good as they could have.
Right. You know what I mean? Because the guy could sing anybody. He could out-sing anybody. But, like I say, had this been the 70s and 80s, he'd have been through the roof, man. If he was one of them artists from the 70s and 80s that could stand in front of a mic, didn't have to move and sing like a Luther Vandross from that era, he'd have blew him out the water. Where they didn't care, and you knew when Luther hit the scene, he was fat. right?
But he could sing his ass off.
He could sing his ass off. Okay, Teddy Pendergrass. The women love this dude. He was tall, dark, and in their dreams. But he could sing. He was marketable. And the only thing he did was stood in front of a mic and sing. I mean, do y'all get what I'm saying?
I definitely get what you're saying.
You know, like I say, Luther, he was fat, but the music was so big, you overlooked that. But, you know, like I say, when we go back to 1990 or 91, when Jodeci hit the scene, everything changed.
Jodeci cut it like they was like a hip hop rock and roll group.
No, that was Puff Daddy.
Yeah.
This is the image that Puff Daddy put out there, and with Jodeci, that was his image. He like, well, we ain't gonna have these motherfuckers standing in front of a mic that's not doing nothing. We're gonna have them grinding and in boots and in shorts and looking hip hop, singing R&B. That's what he did.
I think it worked though.
It did work.
Yeah,
I mean, it was kind of like the beginning and the end.
Once again, egos. Just like No Addition, egos.
Definitely.
Well, it's a group. It's a group. And then you're going to have that.
Yeah.
You're going to have that.
Only group I know that never broke up. And the only reason they broke up because their DJ died. The only group I know that stuck together was Run DMC.
Well,
I mean, my issue with Run DMC that was so surprising to me is that after Jay dies, they just fade into the sunset. Like they don't do anything after that.
Well, I mean, well, okay. And now I'm gonna hear what you're saying, but let's take it from Run's perspective. Did he have to do anything else?
No, but it's just like they were such a big, like they one of the biggest rap groups of all time. They didn't have after that run that came with the Down with the King album.
Right.
They didn't really.
It was over.
Yeah, it was over. But like you look at some of these other groups from the time period of them that wasn't even halfway as big as them. They were back for touring.
Yeah, you're right. They were still doing shows and stuff,
yeah.
But I mean,
were they doing shows when Jay died?
No, that Made in America was the first show they did. That Jay-Z show, that Made in America was the first show they did since Jay passed.
No, I'm talking before he passed. Were they doing shows at that time?
Yeah, they were set. They were set to do the Super Bowl. Remember?
Yeah. I didn't remember that. That would have been big.
Hey, Diamond, they were still performing. They really were. And the thing was with Run DMC
yeah, but that was in the 90s.
96, 97.
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I'm saying. That was in the 90s.
Yeah, but
when Jay died with
the thing was Jay was already preparing for the end of Run DMC because
clearly
he had his label going and he was doing, he had his label going.
All right.
I mean, it's like, yeah, they were still performing up until the end, and really they were. Because I never forget, like, it was like maybe a couple months before Jay got killed, they performed at a Cleveland Browns practice. And it was a surprise for the team that the ownership brought Run DMC in. You know what I mean? So they were still performing. Might not have been on the, the platform that they was used to, but they were still performing. But then you also got to remember, man. Russell had Def Comedy Jam. He had Fat Farm. He had a lot of things going where Run was a part of that. Run really didn't have to do none of that shit no more.
Yeah, Run was already making money.
You know what I mean? He was already pretty much set.
Yeah, DMC had his art shows and all that going, like.
And like I say, man. I mean, so it's kind of like, but even so, man, even if Jay would have lived, I mean, how long y'all gonna keep this shit up?
What?
You're getting older. You know, nobody want to see no 60-year-olds on the stage.
Right.
Shit,
I mean, fuck rap.
Oh shit.
Yeah, you go to that motherfucker if you want. You know what I mean? That'd be like me saying, throw your hands in the air, you know, from side to side on the stage. You might want to see that shit. You know what I mean? Nigga, how old are you, motherfucker?
I'm still. That's just like telling niggas our age listening to Lil Baby. Like, what the fuck? You like, nah, man.
I don't even know who the fuck that is. I don't even know who the fuck that is. So I ain't gonna get into that.
That's the corny.
You know, I don't even know who the fuck that is.
Niggas be 50 years old coming to my stand asking for a 20-year-old rapper. Like, yo, y'all priorities fucked up. Let these kids have their fun.
Damn. No, I wouldn't say that. But it's just like you say Lil Baby or whoever. I don't even know who the hell that is. But I don't knock.
I mean,
I don't knock the new generation.
Lil Baby is the most popular rapper out right now.
But I couldn't tell you the name of none of his songs.
Maybe the Baby is, but
don't know who that is either.
Yeah.
I mean, not a knock against them. It's just that I'm just not into that. I mean, I'm not trying to knock them. You know what I mean? Like I say, but I've never heard of these people. I'm not into it. Not to say they bad or good or whatever, you know. It might be pretty good, but I mean, I don't know. I know, you know, like I say,
I mean,
that'd be like asking me.
For me,
huh?
All right, let's go back to our teenage years, right? So let's say we talking about artists from that time period right now. So let's say a Michael Jackson. No, maybe Michael Jackson is a bad example. Let's say like LL Cool J. You know what I mean? Around the time that Jingling Baby's out, right? He's probably at the age of, you know, some of these 20-some-year-old rappers. Maybe he was like 22, 23, something like that.
The thing with LL is versatile. Like he can still put out an R&B record for the radio, and the women gonna love him.
This is my point. This is my point. It's just like, okay, well, hold up. So let's go back to LL. Let's go back to LL, like Jingling Baby time period, right? So we teenagers at this point.
1990.
Yeah,
31 years ago.
Yeah, so we teenagers. Now, people that's our age now, so basically our parents' age then, if they go into the record store at the time, people that don't know record stores, right? They go into the record store at the time and look for LL Cool J, Jingling Baby, because that's a hot song that's out. People wasn't saying, why you listening to that? That's a 20-year-old rapper. He just had the hot song, and he wanted the hot song.
No, the only rappers our parents was listening to back then was Kool Moe Dee.
No, I'm just saying, Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince.
Our parents was
Jazzy Jeff and Fresh Prince.
Boys. No. So I'm not making no excuse.
Summertime got play in every age group, even then.
Yeah, but our parents, your mom and father, my mom and father, was not listening to none of that. No,
but that's because we got different parents. Our parents wasn't those type of parents that was trying to be hip.
I mean,
you had some parents that was trying to be hip.
Wasn't listening to none of that garbage. My father was listening to MC Hammer.
Unique. Listen, man. Okay, it's like this, man. No. It's like this, okay. If you want to go back to Rappers Delight or the Breaks, okay, I don't care what nobody said. At that time, 79 and 80, okay, those songs were being played on the radio. They were big hits. Whether you liked the song or not, you know the hook. You definitely knew the hook and you knew what the song was. Well, Hammer, let's go 10 years plus, okay? Hammer was big. Whether you knew the song or not, you knew it. Who made You Can't Touch This.
But why did he have to come out this and Run DMC? And then when
he had a reason. He had a reason.
He don't remember. He act like he don't remember what he did. He the one who started it.
No, he said they started it.
He
said they started it.
Like he missed the goody two shoes. Like why they getting on?
Let's Unique. Listen, bro. Okay, I understand what you're saying, man. You can say what you want to say. Hammer was major.
No,
He
I
was
mean,
major.
I
He was doing
understand,
better.
and I understand why he felt the story that I've heard him say is that, and I'm sure that this happened when he was coming up, a little while before he blew up, and Run DMC was in town, and they was, shading him because he, some whack ass West Coast rapper,
Right.
and they gave him, they was like, little boying him because they Run DMC, they a big group, you know what I mean? It's just like, who the hell is you? You just local, you know what I mean? And so that's why, but I think that's the kind of stuff that makes rap interesting, and it happens like that. I didn't have no problem with that beef. I thought it was
but
funny.
he had a problem with search when searching them distance.
Yeah,
so now
that's true.
Third Base can't come to Compton.
That's true.
Because Compton niggas don't want to fuck Third Base up. They can't come and perform. But you started this shit. I'm like, come on, man.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing though. The same thing happened. You know what I mean? It's just, and he was in his feelings when it happened to him. So yeah, that's true.
Right. I mean, listen, man. Unique, like I told you before, and I told Diamond this before also. Okay, rap couldn't have stayed in the East. It wouldn't have survived. It had to go to the West. It had to go to the South. It had to go to the different stages. Why it's still around 40 plus years later? That's why. Because
it's lingering, and to me, it's like what's pissing me off now. It lingered in the South for too long. The music is so watered down.
Let's
like,
Unique.
Like
why do you think? Go ahead.
It's like niggas from the West Coast, niggas from New York. It's like niggas scared to put records, to put music out because it's like
it's not that.
Scared.
Nah, but here's my I look at it. It did linger in the South for a long time, but here's why. Right. Because nobody took the mantle. So it's just like
exactly.
The South, they didn't. The West Coast didn't say, "Hey, South, we had it for a while. Y'all here, y'all take this." The South took it, and they never gave it back, and nobody took it from them.
Well,
that's another thing. Like the young rappers that died, Pop Smoke and King Von.
Yeah.
All these dudes.
Both of them is hot.
But all these dudes sound like down south. When 50 and G Unit and all the niggas up and Dipset and all the niggas was banging when Shorty Low and all them was popping, Dipset they didn't sound like that.
But you gotta remember this. You gotta remember this. When New York was running things in the early stages of rap, everybody tried to sound like New York rap because they thought that's what you're supposed to sound like. Everybody imitates whatever's hot at that time. And then slowly they started to see, because you remember how the Ghetto Boys used to dress like Run DMC?
Right.
The original Ghetto Boys? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
They used to dress like, because they was imitating what they saw. But then slowly people said, well, shit, maybe we can just be ourselves. You know what I mean? We just talk about the stuff that they talking about is not what's happening here.
And Diamond, like if you listen to the early Ghetto Boy stuff, they didn't sound country. They sound New York.
Yeah, they use it. They use the drum machine sounds that New York used. But
the
going
slang,
back to your point,
talking.
Greg, going back to your point, the reason why hip hop has lasted so long was because of the different styles. That's why disco music fell out, because disco music did one thing, they didn't change. It got redundant. It cost a lot of money to make those records because they started having bands in there. It was too expensive to make the disco record, and it wasn't evolving. They got rid of it. It fell out. The drum machine came. They started doing house music.
Exactly.
Electronic drums, and then it just rolled. And it just rolled on from there.
Right. And see, like if you look at the late 70s, early 80s, what changed? The music changed. The style of music, the electronic came in.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's like,
and that's
the
when the
SOS band. And, okay, you look at the early R&B from the early 80s, the SOS band and all these groups. The sound changed. We ain't talk about the rap music. We talk about the R&B too.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, like you say, everything was set up for a band to play these tracks, or like you say, man, it was a band. You know, it was you had a drummer, you know, you had this, but then as the synthesizer came in, the drum machines came in, the sound changed, whether it was rap or R&B. You know, and the times were changing.
Yeah.
The '80s was wild open and buck wild. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like a lot of those R&B songs from the early '80s, and you're gonna agree with me on this. If it had a drum machine to it that was a big hit, it would not have been a big hit with a band.
No,
because the sound was different.
Definitely.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You know, I mean, it's just that producers saw that we can do more with this type of sound. The same thing with rap music. You know what I mean? Of course, it started off with live.
Then Jay-Z tried to start taking the roots out to play to say. I guess he tried to change it up a little bit and have a band, whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, it's good to switch it up sometimes. But he wouldn't do that all the time.
Towards the end of his touring, he did that a lot. He didn't.
Yeah, but I'm saying
that was just for live performances, man.
Yeah, but that's not how he recorded his records.
No, because it was all
Disco recorded their records with a live band.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they would go out on tour. He wouldn't bring scratch with him no more. He would have the roots.
He would have somebody playing his fucking instrumentals, man. Whatever, you know. Like I say, man. Like I say, when he did that Fade to Black, okay, he wanted to go big, and he did both. He had live instruments, and he also had instrumentals.
He went hard.
And he did,
that
man.
Was hard. He went hard.
I mean, and it was slick the way he did it with the Roots doing the music. It was slick the way he did it. He had both.
But that's
he
a
was
show.
Smart.
That's a show.
You know,
and if you can afford to
that's
do
a
it,
show.
then do it.
You know,
yeah.
Jay-Z went he went big and he went for broke on that one, and it paid off. You know what I mean? Because you getting the music, but you're getting both. You're getting the best of both worlds.
He did that too.
You're getting the that's a whole different story. You know what I mean? But that's what he gave. He gave you the live.
Rock. That's best of both worlds. Rocking from
it's definitely it's a classic.
Yeah, but it's just that R. Kelly fucked that up.
Definitely.
That's a whole different story.
Mm-hmm.
The album was good.
Because it never could properly get promoted. I mean, it was good. It was awesome. It's just that, you know, it came out around the time the Scandal came out. You know, and R. Kelly fucked that up because, I mean, I don't know what that, I think it went platinum. That thing could have probably went way more than that, man.
Yeah. R. Kelly fucked it up.
Somebody was trying to fuck him over. And then when he came back with the Feeling single in the Sad My World, I'm like, R. Kelly make me come back, and then boom, that Lifetime shit. Then the motherfucker.
No. R. Kelly shot his own self in the foot. That's all it is.
Yeah.
He can sit up there and say what he's the one that fucked everything up for himself. You know, ain't none of that Lifetime. Dude, he fucked his own. When he had a chance to stop that shit with the Aaliyah thing, he should have stopped it. He never stopped. And he just kept on doing the shit that he was doing. So fuck him, you know what I mean? Yeah, you might have had all these hits, and you might have been, you know, R. Kelly, but everything you stood for is out the window. You know? Yeah. All right, fellas, meant to get up off this line, okay?
All right, so it's good.
All right.
I'll let y'all.
All right,
fellas. I'll talk to y'all later, man.
I'll talk to you later.
All right.